So for question number 1, हमारे पास कहता है list the numbers of the set A. They have not
Yeah,
defined कि whether we want only A or A. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्योंकि सिंपल A लिखा हुआ है, so you have to consider the whole circle. जब आप पूरे सर्कल को
yes,
कंसिडर करते हो, so it will be this whole circle which is also including the intersection point. Yes.
of course. Yes.
So आपके पास जो फाइनल आंसर आएगा that is
7, 9,
5,
11.
7, 9, 11, 13 and 15. Try to write down the answer in the ascending order. सही है, अरेंजमेंट में लिखा करो आंसर को. Now we have the second one, second part,
A
A
intersection
intersection
A.
B. That is 5
So,
comma 15, right?
yes, 515.
And what about A union B whole complement? First of all, इसको थोड़ा सा हम इस तरीके से समझते हैं कि कॉम्प्लीमेंट का मतलब ये होता है कि वी हैव टू सब्ट्रैक्ट द A union B, the bracket from the universal set, which is basically the epsilon set, right? So अगर मैं यहाँ पे subtract करता हूँ whole A union B को, so I am talking about basically this whole A union B. ये पूरा A union B subtract होगा from the universal. If we subtract this whole A union B from the universal, the yellow portion, the both the yellow portions, तो हमारे पास जो बच जाएगा वो सिर्फ ये numbers बच जाएंगे. So the answer for A union B whole complement is 6, 8, 12, 14 and 16. This will be your answer.
Thank
So in factorization, first of all, whenever we have the two terms, what you have to do from the numbers, you have to take a particular number which is common in between the two numbers. So if we talk about
Highest common
6,
factor.
exactly, HCF basically. So it's 6, and then we have variable P which is common in between the terms. So the remaining is 2Q minus 3. Now,
Yes,
if we talk about part B, in part B, they ask you that there are 56 metal bars in a box, right? Each metal bar is gold or silver or zinc. Y metal bars are gold, 3Y plus 7 metal bars are silver, and 2Y minus 5 metal bars are zinc. Work out the number of metal bars that are zinc. So first of all, what you have to do, we know that there are total in quantity equals to 56. So if we add all of them, it will be Y plus 3Y plus 7 plus 2y minus 5 equals 56, correct?
correct.
So when we will solve it,
We'll shift the
first of all, we have to add the variables. So it will be 3y, 2y, and y, which will give you 6y, correct? And then
yes. We
56,
bring the 7 and minus 5 to the other side, so we get 56 minus 2. So 6y is equal to 54. 54 divided by 6 is
9.
9.
Exactly. So y equals to 9, and they ask you about zinc. So that means you have to substitute the value of y in this zinc. So
Equation
it will
again.
be exactly. So it will be 2, 9 minus 5, which is 18 minus 5, which is equals to 13. So 13 is your final answer.
Yes.
So first of all, you know that 36 per month you have to pay 450, and for 36 months you have to multiply it by 450.
Yes.
So 36 times 450 will give you 16,200. And then you have
Okay.
to add this 1,500 in it. So
So
16,200,
17,700.
correct. So it's equals to 17,700.
Now we have to do new minus old over old times by 100.
Correct. So for
So we'll
percentage,
do
yes.
17,700
Minus 12,500,
over
12,000.
12,500
Good. Times,
times by 100,
exactly.
which is equal to
Which is equals to,
1 second. Note out my calculator.
if we simplify it, it will be 17,700 minus 12,500. That is 5,200 divided by 12,500. That is 41.6 if we multiply it with 100. So final answer is 41.6. That's your percentage profit.
Yes.
Now, for question number 4. In question number 4, it says a bias spinner has 3 sections, each of the different color. You have to find out the value of X. We know that whenever we have the number of probabilities, if you want to find out
Adds
the
up to
answer of
one.
the exactly, if you want to find out the value of this X which is unknown, you can add all the probabilities which is equals to 1. So
This is
0.58
equal.
plus 2x plus x, which will be equals to 1. So final answer for x
Okay.
is
3x is equal to 1 minus 0.58. So uh,
14.
0.3.
Is it 0.14?
The answer?
The answer. The value of x. The value of x.
Yes, the value of x is 0.14.
Right. So this is equals to 0.14. Now, if you talk about part B, it says the spinner is spun 250 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times spinner will land on blue. For blue, we have 0.58. So 0.58 will get multiplied with 250 because
250, yes.
if we talk about the one time only, so it will be 0.58. And if we talk about 250, we have to multiply it with 0.58. So
0.58 times by 250 gives you
hmm,
145.
exactly. So answer is equals to 145. So first of all, we know that this is your circumference of a semicircle. This one also and this one also. So
Yes.
first of all, if we talk about the circumference of a semicircle, it will be 2 pi r divided by 2, which is basically equals to pi r, right? And we know that the radius is same because the whole diameter, the length of a diameter is equals to 20 centimeter for each. If this whole
Yes.
is
So
equals
the
to
radius is
20,
10.
exactly. So the radius is equals to 10 centimeter. This is your radius, which is half basically. So if we apply the formula, it will be 3.142 times 10.
But yes.
3.142 times 10, which is basically equals to 31.42.
Yes. And next, then
You
you
have to
times it by
multiply it
3.
by 3 because we are
Yes.
here, we have only calculated for the first one. So if you want to find out for 3 semicircles,
31.42 times by 3, which gives you 94.26.
94.26, correct. Now, if we talk about,
Then we
we know
add
whenever we
12,
have to, exactly,
right?
whenever we have to find out the perimeter, we have to add the outer surfaces of a shape. So the outer surfaces include this line and this line only, not the inside values. So that means 10 plus 10. That means this 10 will also be added in the final answer for the perimeter. So it will be
So 114.
94.26 plus 10 plus 10, which is 114.26. And they ask you to write down the answer in the form of whole number. So 114 will be the final answer.
Yes.
Question number 6.
Uh,
For ticket A, they ask you that 1 over 6 of normal price.
yeah.
Whatever is the normal price, right? So 1 over 6 is off. That means the value after getting the off is 5 over 6 for ticket A, correct?
Yes, which is 140.
Whatever, exactly. So 5 over 6 of the total value is equals to the ticket price A. That is equals to 140. So we have to find out this X, which is basically the total value, the normal value, right?
Okay.
So X is equals 140 times 6 divided by 5.
140. Uh, oh, cross month. Okay. 140 times 6.
Divided by 5.
So 168.
Okay. So 168 is basically the original value, which is your normal value, right?
Okay.
For
For
ticket A.
ticket B, it's 170.
And for ticket B,
It's 136 divided by 0.8, which gives you 70.
correct.
170.
Exactly. So 80% of x, or we can say y, is equals to 136, and the value of y is equals to 170. That is for ticket B. If we want to find
Yes.
out the difference in between, so it's 170 minus 168. So we have the difference of 2 euros. That will be your
2
answer.
correct.
Question number 7. First of all, the prime factors of A is 5 cube times 7 cube times 11 raised to the power 6. And if we talk about B, so it's 5 raised to the power 6 times 7 squared times 11 raised to the power 4. So if we want to find out HCF in between the two terms A and B, so that means if we talk about 5, first of all, so 5 cube is the term which is common in between A and B both. Correct?
Okay, and the next is 7 squared.
Exactly. The second one is 7 square and the third one is 11 raised to the power 4. So this is basically the HCF in between the two terms. This is your answer. So if you talk about question number 8 first, it will be 8x minus 3x greater than equals minus 10 plus 4. So it's 5x greater than equals minus 6. So x greater than equals minus 6 over 5. That will be your answer for the first part. For the second part, we have to identify that there are 3 boundaries which are covering your shaded part. These 3 boundaries. So if we talk about the first one, if we name it as line number 1, this one as line number 2, and this one as line number 3. So line number 1 and 2 is basically vertical and horizontal, which basically consist of one variable only. So line number 1 is a vertical line, which means it belongs to x. So it will be x is less than equals to 7. And the reason behind, since it's a solid line, so we have to mark down equal sign. Then the second one is y is greater than equals to 2. And the third line is basically a diagonal line. So for diagonal line, since it's quite obvious that the coordinates are same, like 1 comma 1 for this one. Similarly, if we talk about this one, so it's 4 comma 4. But in case if the diagonal line is not having the same coordinates, that is 4 comma 4, it can be 4 comma 5, 4 comma 10, whatever. If the x values of x and y are different, so you have to use the formula of y equals mx plus c to find out the equation of line, right? In which you have to consider any of the two coordinates. We can take 1 comma 1 and the second one as 4 comma 4. And by using the formula for the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we can find out the gradient, which is equals to 1. And for c, we can substitute any of the coordinate in the equation. So if you substitute 1 equals gradient is 1 and x is also 1 plus c. So the value of c is equals to 0. So in short, we are having y equals to x. And if we write down the inequality, it will be y is less than equals to x. So this will be your final equation.
Yes.
These are the 3 inequalities. X is less than equals to 7, y is greater than equals to 2, and y is less than equals to x. The next question, question number 9. For question number 9, we have 5.87 times 0.487 times 10 raised to the power minus 4. Okay, we need to write down the answer without power. So first of all, we have to move on the left hand side to make our 10 raised to the power 0. So it will be 0.000587, because the power of 10 will increase when you will shift on the left hand side. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 zeros will be there like this. For part B, if 0 is over here and we are moving on the left hand side, that means we are increasing the power. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we need to write down the answer in the form of standard form. So it will be 8.4 into 10 raised to the power 7. When we shift the decimal on the left hand side, power will increase. When we shift the decimal on the right hand side, power will decrease, कम हो जाती है. Now, if we talk about part C, we need to find out the value of
The
k.
value.
Hmm. So they have given you the equation. This is your equation in which they ask you the number of neuron in a human brain is. That means 8.5 times 10 is to the power 10 equals to k. Is means k. So equals to k times number of neurons in a monkey brain. So it 1.47 into 10 raised to the power 9. So when you will divide it, it will be 8.5 10 raised to the power 10 divided by 1.47 into 10 raised to the power 9 equals to k. The final answer for k is equals to 57.8. That's correct. So 57.8 is your final answer, right? And if they ask you in the same question, if they ask you to write down your answer in the form of standard form, so it will be 5.78 into 10 raised to the power 1. Okay. If they have asked you about writing the answer in the form of significant figure, in the standard form, sorry. Now we have question number 10. So we know that it's 8 meter is the opposite because it's opposite to the angle. And we know the formula of sine theta, which is having opposite over hypotenuse. So it's sine 40 equals opposite is 8 upon, if we name it as y. So it's y. Then we need to find out the value of y. So it will be 8 over sine 40. Got my point? So
Yes.
it's 8 divided by sine 40, which is basically 10.73 centimeter. Oh, it's meter. 10.73 meters. Now, by using this side, which is y, and 22 meters, you have to find out this length, which is basically BC. If we name it as Z,
8
and
over sine 40 isn't 10.73.
it's
8
10.6,
over sine 40, it's
it's
12.4.
it's 12.4. Okay, let me just confirm it now. So sine, oh yes,
It's
my calculator is in radians. Right, right. So it's sine 40, 8 divided by sine 40, which is basically 12.44. That time my calculator was at radians.
Wouldn't it be 12.45 because we're rounding to 2?
Yeah, exactly. You can write it. So it's
Okay.
12.45. Now by using this 12.45 centimeter and this 22 meters, right? These two values, this value, this 22, this 12.45, and this 40 degrees. These three values, you have to use the formula of cosine rule because the whole triangle ABC is a non-right angle triangle. And in non-right angle triangle, we know we have to apply only the two formula, either sine rule or the second one is the cosine rule, right? When the three discussion of three sides and one angle is given, we we have to apply the formula for cosine rule.
Cosine.
Exactly. So it will be z square equals 12.45 square plus 22 square minus 2 into 22 into 12.45 into cos 40 degrees. Okay, just solve it and do let me know the answer of z. After simplification, the value of z is 14.8 meters. So we have this value 14.8 meters. Now we need to find out this x. And to calculate this value of x, either we can apply the formula of sine rule or we can use cosine rule, right? So if we use cosine rule over here, we can make the combination of, sorry, sine rule here, we can make the combination of a and b. So sine 40 and side opposite to 40 is 14.8 because we are taking the whole triangle ABC, right?
Yeah.
And then sine x over 12.45.
Okay.
If you cross multiply it, it will be sine x equals sine 40 into 12.4 divided by 14.8.
14.8.
Exactly. And the final answer after solving, you will be having which is equals to 32.7.
Okay, I
That will be the
understand.
value of x. Question number 11. Since it's the two terms, fractional terms, we have to cross multiply it. It will be 3 into 6x plus 4 into 5 minus x over 4 into 6x. So 18x plus 20 minus 4x divided by 24x. So it will be 14x plus 20 divided by 24x. And if we take 2 common from the numerator, it will be 7x plus 10 over 24x. So 2 and 12. So final answer is 7x plus 10 divided by
12x.
12x. That will be your answer. Correct. Question number 12.
I don't have graph paper. I don't have graph paper right now, but I know you just plug the points and draw a line through them.
Exactly. So first of all, if we substitute the values for question number 12 part 8, when you will substitute -2 over here, you will be having the answer which is equals to -1. When you will substitute -1 in the given equation, it is equals to 3. When you will substitute 0 in the given equation, it is equals to 1.
1.
For 1, we have -1, and for 2, we have 3. So we need to plot these values, -2 and -1, which will be this point. Then we have -1 and 3. That means -1 and 3 is your this point. Then we have 0, 1, which is this thing. And then 1 and -1, which is this one. And then we have 2 and 3, which is this one.
And then we just draw a curve.
Exactly. So it's a cubic curve, no?
Yep.
So that means this will be the curve like this. Because we know in the
Yep.
cubic curve, we will be having the two peaks, right? And this, for this plus one,
Yes.
this will be your axis. So you have to draw like this. So this will be your final graph, right? For 1 over x square, since we have negative sign over here, so part D is your answer, because for negative sign,
Both sides are negative.
exactly. Because of the negative sign, both of them will be below the line. So part D will be your answer. Then we have question number 13. If you talk about part A, find an estimate for median time. Median is basically half of the value. So if the total value is 80, so half is 40 over here. And if we draw a line and drops the line on the x-axis, it will give you the center value in between 20 and 30, which is 25. So this is 25 over here. And if we talk about work out the percentage of this error that took longer than 50 seconds to log in. So 50 second lies over here,
So that's 75.
this one. 50 seconds, something over here, which is basically 75. So first of all, you have to subtract it. So it will be 80 minus 75, which is equals to 5.
5. And then you
Correct?
do 5 over 8.
5 over 80, because they ask you about the
6.2.
percentage and the old value is 80, and times 100 will give you the answer, which is equals to
6.25.
correct. That will be your answer. Question number 14. Excellent. So we know that these two are the radius basically, and this is also equals to 52 degrees. If we need to find out this value, which is basically x over here, so the sum of interior angles of a triangle is equals to 180 degrees. So it's x equals 180 minus 104, which is basically equals to 76 degrees. We know, okay, now we need to find out this angle, which is basically this A. And we know whenever we discuss about the angle at center and angle at circumference, it is basically the half. The angle at circumference is half of the angle at center. So it will be angle ABC, which is equals to 76 divided by 2. So it is equals to 38 degrees. That will be your answer. Question number
Perfect.
15. In question number 15, it says make n the subject of the formula. So first of all, you have to cross multiply it. When you will cross multiply, it will be 3xn minus 4x equals 3p plus n. Now we need to make n as a subject. So the terms with the n will be written on either of the sides. So it will be 3 plus 4x. When you will take n common, it will be 3x minus 1 and 3p plus 4x. So n equals 3p plus 4x divided by 3x minus 1. That will be your answer. Then we have the next.
Yes.
Then we have the next question. Question number 16.
Oh yeah, this is the type of question I get stuck on usually.
Okay. You want to try this question, or shall I move on, or shall I solve it directly?
Can you solve it and explain it?
Okay. A curve has equation y equals 4x cubed minus 8x plus 5. Find the x coordinates of the 2 points on the curve. Okay. Just remember that whenever we deal with the curve and there is a discussion of the gradient, so the first thing which comes in your mind is basically you have to differentiate it. If they ask you about the equation of line and they want you to find out the gradient of the line, then you have to use the formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But in case if they ask you about the gradient of a curve or the equation of a curve, so the first thing which comes in your mind is to differentiate the given cubic equation. So it will be y bar
Okay, so
equals 12x
right
square
now we right?
minus 8. Step is it's y bar equals 12x square minus 8, and then y bar is basically your gradient. So the value of this gradient should be substituted over here. It will be 1 over 3 equals 12x square minus 8.
8.
Now in the next step, you have to find out the values of x, right? So how will you solve it?
Right.
It will be 1 over 3 plus 8 equals
Root.
12x square.
Won't we root the 1 over 3 plus 8?
So 25 over 3 equals 12x square. Then 12 divided by 36, because this 12 will come in the denominator. To 12 into 3 is 36 equals x square. So answer of x is equals plus minus 5 over 6. We have the two values of x because of the squaring. First one is positive and the second one is negative. Plus minus 5 over x is your answer.
Yes.
They ask you that medium oranges lies between 35 grams to 45 grams. That means 35 will lie over here. This will be 35. And in 55, so this will be considered, and 55 will be over here like this. So these whole values. So for this, first of all, we need to find out the value for a particular box, right? So 24, because they say that 24 of these oranges weigh less than 20 grams, that means from this to this. So 24 divided by 20, because we know the formula of frequency density, which is equals to frequency upon class width, or we can say the height. So frequency
Yes.
density, we have to find out, and frequency is given, which is 24, and 20 is your class width from 0 till 20, that's 20. So 24 divided by 20, which is equals to the frequency density for the first one. So 24 divided by 20, which is equals to 1.2. So for this whole height, it's equals to 1.2.
2.
Correct?
Meaning each box is equal to 1.
It's equals to 1.2. Now,
Yeah, but I'm saying the box. No?
no, one box is equals to basically. Is that so, no?
Yeah.
So the next thing is
Wait, so is the height 1.2 or is one box 1.2?
the total height. This
Is
box.
one
I am talking about this box.
oh
This
this whole
box.
box.
Exactly. So it's 1.2,
Okay.
right? So we need to find out for 40. What will be for this one? What will be this
Can you
height?
repeat?
What will be this height? If I name this height as x, what will be this
Uh,
height? Because from 35 till 50, we will be having the class width of 15, correct? So
correct.
if 20 is indicating you 1.2, so 15 is indicating you how much? That is your x by ratio method. So it's 15 times 1.2 divided by 20, which is equals to
50 15 times 1.2. 0.9.
Correct. And for the next one,
Which
from
one?
from 50 till 55.
50 to 55 is
Okay, my question is, first of all, if this is equals to 1.2, how can you say that this height will be the smaller one? How is it possible? You are saying that the value of x is 0.9. How is it possible, as you can observe that this height, which I'm denoting it with the red one, is greater as compared to 1.2? So how is it possible that it's equals to 0.9? So what it will be?
that was one. Wouldn't this be 2.2?
How?
Because we can use the scale already given. We can see that each
Hmm.
box is equal to 0.1
Hmm.
and
Correct.
12 boxes are equal to 1.2,
You
meaning
can
22 boxes will be equal to 2.2, right?
exactly.
Yes, so the
What
height
will
is
be?
2.2.
Exactly. It will be equals to 2.2. It cannot be equals to 0.9, right? So
Yes.
it's 2.2 over here. Now, if it is 2.2, then 2.2 will get multiplied with 15 to get the answer of this whole box, this red one.
So, yeah. So it's
2.2
33. 33.
times 15, which is equals to 33. And if we talk about the third one,
The
this
third
box which
one's
I'm
height, this box's height should be 0. I don't know, 1.8.
it's 1.8. So if it
And
is
then we do 1.8 times 5, which gives us
exactly, exactly. So if this is 5, so
9.
1.8 times 5,
So an estimate of the medium oranges will be 9 plus 33, which
9.
is 42.
Correct. This will be your final answer.